Everyone, how's it going? I'm in my car at the moment. This is so weird. In a random parking lot because that's just how we roll. I really wanted to film this video, but I had family at my house and I don't feel comfortable shooting videos in front of them because it's just like weird me talking to myself. And they don't really know like exactly that I have this YouTube channel. I mean, they know, they just, yeah, anyways. So we're in my car because I really wanted to make this video. It's New Year's Eve and it's, you know, the last day of 2018, so it's just natural that everyone's kind of reflecting on the year. I think more than ever I really wanted to do a video for this year because this year, looking back on it, was definitely one of the more better years of my life, possibly the best. In that I think I was just the happiest. I think, you know, I had really high moments and I had really down moments, but I learned how to grow from both of those situations. And yeah, I just think I had the chance this year to, you know, travel across the world and meet a ton of new people and experience different cultures. And I think that is something that some people don't even get in their own lifetime. And I think that I got to experience it at the age of 21 is just something that is so remarkable and something I should be extremely grateful for. So hence why I wanted to make this video. So the beginning of this video, I just want to say, you know, a quick thank you to my parents and my family, as well as, you know, my friends that I made abroad, as well as my friends from home that stuck through and waited for me when I came home and really helped me like assimilate back into my routine. So I just want, you know, I want to also take the opportunity to issue to people the importance of traveling and how it's something that is a privilege and people should acknowledge it as that, but also it's something that I feel like people should not take for granted. You know, they shouldn't always see traveling as a way of, you know, going somewhere because everyone goes there or going somewhere to relax. I mean, I get that's a thing and that's an important thing to relax, but also I think it's very important to travel somewhere where you know that you're going to learn something new. You're going to gain experiences that you probably will only gain once in a lifetime, and just a chance to really understand a different culture and meet different people, because I think doing those things makes you a more well-rounded person. And I think now more than ever we need a lot more well-rounded people who are more understanding of, you know, not just of themselves but of other people. Going off that, I definitely think this year was very monumental for me because I definitely learned a lot about myself. I think from removing myself from my constant routine that I had at home in New York, I kind of got the chance to look at my life from an outside perspective and realize, like, one, how wonderful my life is and how grateful I should be more about it and not take it for granted. But also things like, you know, if I don't want to be around certain people, I shouldn't have to be around those people. If I don't want to do certain things, I don't have to do those things. You know, taking care of myself more, understanding what I want, what I like, and realizing that you can't please everyone. And it's more important to please yourself more than anyone else. And I know a lot of people take that in a very selfish route, but I think you can take it not in a selfish route and understand that, you know, your happiness also makes other people happy. So if your goal is to make other people happy, you have to make yourself happy first. As RuPaul always says, how are you going to love somebody else if you can't love yourself? And I think that applies in all different ways, not just with love, with happiness, with respect, with worth, with love, as we said, you know. And I think I learned a lot of that this year. Like, I learned a lot of my own self-worth and respect for myself. I mean, I don't think it's at the point where it should be, but it definitely has grown over the year, and I think that growth is important to acknowledge. I just did a lot. That just went like really philosophical, but I'm gonna probably have to cut a lot of that out. But I've said this before, actually, in one of my like earliest videos about, you know, you should have these feelings and these emotions and do these actions all the time. You know, don't just tell someone you love them when it's Valentine's Day. Tell them that you love them every single day. Don't just be thankful on Thanksgiving. Like, be thankful for your life and the people around you all the time. 2019 is coming around, and I'm really not trying to have high expectations because I do realize that this past year was just so wonderful. Not that, you know, I'm not having good hopes. I really hope that next year is going to be great. But I don't know, I'm definitely trying to have a more realistic kind of standpoint with it. That goes with the same when it comes for goals. I've never been a New Year's resolution kind of person. Sorry, it took me forever to say that. Because I always find that I'm the type of person, when I make like a set goal like that, typically they're not in like a range that I can actually achieve. And half the time I like do them for 2 days and then they don't happen. So I'm trying to rework them as goals, and goals that I can accomplish, you know, not just in this year, but just like in life in general. And I think this year will be the start off for it. So I have them on my phone. And thing too is that I've kept them on my phone, so even when it comes to this time next year, so December 31st of 2019, I can look back on these and think, did I achieve any of these this year? No, that's okay. We'll continue it for 2020. Oh God, that's so weird to think about. First New Year goal is I want to learn new things, a lot of new things. So the two big ones that I'm doing are, I'm learning how to knit. I'm going to post a picture right here of how my project is going so far. It's going. It's not exactly like top-notch knitting, but hey, listen, I started 3 days ago, so to have that I think is pretty impressive. Another thing I want to learn is a new language. I took a language in high school, but I really struggled with it. Like, it was very, very hard for me to retain and fully learn. But I really want to take the time and the patience this year to try to learn something new, and that being a new language. I have the Duolingo app, so hopefully that will help me to some degree. And I think the aim is to learn Spanish. Fun fact, I get mistaken for being Hispanic or Spanish on the daily, to the point that people actually start speaking Spanish to me. And I always feel guilty that I never know how to respond and really saying, you know, I'm sorry, I don't know Spanish, but like, can I help you with something, you know? Like, instead of just being like, no habla español, you know, actually try to hold a conversation with these people that approach me. So next one is to be more present. And by that I mean just being more in the moment, not thinking about the future or the past so much, because those things are out of your control. I'm definitely one of those people that tend to fixate on the past and panic about the future. So I'm really, really trying to kind of tone down on that. And I think getting off my phone, you know, and getting off my computer and not being on those things as much can definitely help with it. So that's what I mean by be more present. The thing that kind of goes along with that is, over this last year, I have recognized that I have anxiety, and I actually go and get help for it. I see a therapist, and it's one of the many ways that I help cope with that. And I'm very fortunate that I'm not at the degree where I need medication. I'm happy about that, because I don't think there's anything wrong with taking medication for any sort of mental illness. I just know that that's not who I am and I don't need it. And I'm very thankful that the doctors also understand that I don't need that, because there are some people who are prescribed medication and, you know, don't exactly need it, and it makes them kind of feel weird and do things differently, and I don't want to deal with that. So going along with that, I want to kind of find more homeopathic ways for me to relieve my anxiety. I've already found that ASMR is something that really, really helps me. I've also found that aromatherapy helps me, but I'm going to try to get more into like meditation and yoga, even journaling. I have that tiny Buddha journal that I showed in my Christmas video if you haven't seen it yet. So hopefully those things will help me to be less materialistic. I think, especially since starting YouTube, I kind of got into the rut of constantly buying new things because other YouTubers had it, and I think that's not something good to live by, especially since a lot of these YouTubers that I'm looking at are given these things by the brand. In that case, I think it's more important to separate myself from those things and just realize that, again, kind of going back to just being more present in the moment and realizing that, you know, I should just be happy with what I have. that doesn't mean that I'm not going to shop completely at all during the year. I just want to make that a quick disclaimer. But it means just like, you know, not excessively buying clothes because I need to, you know, film a clothing haul video. Like, that's just not smart, you know? I want to be more active consistently. So this is something that my sister said, and I think it's really smart. What I mean by that is, I'm the type of person where I will go on a workout craze and I'll work out for like 2 weeks straight, and then I'll stop, and then I won't do it for another like 3 months. And then the same thing happens again. And to me, I don't think that's healthy. That instead of trying to, you know, go to the gym every day, I want to try to do more kind of like, all right, make a goal of like once or twice a week you go to the gym, but you do that every week. Because if you just do that once and then not do it again for another 2 weeks, it goes right back into that rut, and I'm really trying to break that. And I think the important thing to realize is that you don't always have to like go to the gym to work out. You could do it in your room. I mean, even by just doing simple stretches and breathing exercises and all that stuff is enough to kind of help your body, and I think that's the important thing. And along with that, I definitely want to respect my body more. So kind of like what we were talking about before, like knowing your worth and the respect that you deserve, I think a lot of it starts with yourself, and I definitely have been realizing that more this year. But I think it's something that I still need to continually work on. You know, so to me, that covers grounds of like self-love, you know, accepting myself more, not being so hard on myself, like not being my own worst enemy. But also more simple things like those nights when I'm lazy and I don't want to get up and wash my face. Get up and wash your face. Just do it. You're going to thank yourself later. Or when I go out and I think, oh, I can have one more drink. No, don't have one more drink. Like, it's really not worth it. And you're mistreating your body in doing that, you know? Or I will openly admit that I'm the type of person that when I'm in situations, like party situations, I'll start to like smoke kind of more socially. Don't do that. Like, that's so unhealthy, and I really, really should stop doing that. So it's kind of little things like that that I want to kind of acknowledge and realize that they're things that need to be fixed, you know, just like tiny things. To be a true vegetarian. What do I mean by that? So at the moment I'm pescatarian, so I still eat fish. So I'm going to try to slowly wean off fish. It will be kind of hard because I do like sushi a lot, and I do like shellfish more. I do also mean by that in the sense that I tend to eat a lot of processed food, even though it's not meat-based, and that's not exactly healthy. Like, my whole point of going vegetarian was to find healthier options and eat more vegetables just in general. So I'm really gonna make an aim for, you know, instead of going for the faux chicken, like really try to make, you know, an assortment of quinoa and chickpeas and black beans and all that stuff. So it's really just making the aim to be a true vegetarian in that sense, like really actually eat vegetables most of the time. I want to read more. I really think I've been slacking on that. I really haven't had the time to sit and read a book. I've made a whole list. I'll bring it up. I've started to make a whole list. I don't know if you can see that, and I'm continuing it. I have things like, you know, books like geared towards my thesis project, which is about food production and eating. I also have like poetry on here, like classic books, also newer things. I want to read more. And I think an important thing to acknowledge is that, like, if you do Audible where you listen to it, I think that's totally acceptable. Like, for the longest time I used to think that was cheating, and that's not cheating. Like, why would I think that? This is what I mean. Like, I'm so cynical sometimes. Like, why? One thing I want to say in regards to this channel, and that is I want to really make, and I know I've said this before, but I really want to try to make more meaningful content. And that, I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with doing, you know, a skincare or a fashion video here, you know, every once in a while, but I think ultimately I want to make content that's more true to who I am, and content that I think people like myself would want to see, you know? Like, I like seeing those videos, but I also like people talking about honest things and talking about things that not every YouTuber talks about, you know, because not everyone is a YouTuber, so sometimes you can't relate to those things. So that's it for this video. This ended up being a lot longer than I expected, but that's okay. I just, you know, felt that it was important to acknowledge how grateful I am and talk about goals for the upcoming year. I hope everyone has a wonderful New Year's Eve. Please, please, please be safe. If you can, stay at home. If you are going out, as I said, be safe, drink safely, Uber everywhere. But I hope everyone has a great New Year and has a great positive outlook on it. So, yeah, that's it for this video. Peace.